Despite concerns brought up by community members at a meeting last night, City Council approved to proceed with the construction of bike lanes on Pine and Willow Avenues. The vote was 10-1, with Councillor Hollingsworth opposing the motion. Residents on both streets are concerned about the removal of on-street parking, cyclist safety, speeding vehicles, and convenience when getting in and out of their driveways. Supporting the lanes, Mayor Provenzano said they are part of the master and active transportation plan for the city. Provenzano talked about the need to start living out these plans for the city and not just talking about doing it. Council also approved a resolution to allow an unopened road allowance for the 2020 budget, running from the east limit of Northern Avenue southerly through Panoramic Drive to Princeton Drive, and then alleviating traffic flow at Pine and Pleasant Drive. Mass shooting survivor Nathalie Provost has quit the Federal Firearms Advisory Committee in frustration, saying she is extremely disappointed with the Liberal government's failure to crack down on assault-style rifles. Provost, who was shot 4 times during the 1989 spree by a gunman at Montreal's École Polytechnique, says she feels used by a government unwilling to take the steps needed to make Canadians safer. The Canadian press obtained a copy of Provost's resignation letter sent yesterday to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the cabinet members responsible for firearms issues, Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale and Organized Crime Reduction Minister Bill Blair. Provost, who served for more than 2 years on the advisory committee, says the government repeatedly ignored her calls for an overhaul of the firearms classification system, a move that could tighten restrictions on some semi-automatic rifles. She claims the committee contributed nothing to the Liberal Firearms Bill C-71, recently passed by Parliament, legislation that she considers very timid. Ontario's health minister said yesterday that this year's flu season will likely be a bad one, and the province is stocking up on extra high-strength vaccines in preparation. Australian health authorities are reporting an early flu season there, unusually high activity for this time of year. Though the overall severity is reported as low, hospitalizations are 3 times what is normal, and there have been more than 200 deaths so far, according to that country's Department of Health. A spokesperson for Elliott said that Ontario has already ordered 300,000 more doses of high-dose flu vaccines than last year, bringing the total order to 1.2 million doses. That vaccine has 4 times the amount of antigens than the regular flu shot and is given to more vulnerable people, such as seniors. It can be provided in hospitals, long-term care homes, and by primary care providers. Elliott said it was proven particularly effective last year and that the government will also be rolling out an advertising campaign encouraging people to get the flu shot. Elliott did not yet have a specific date, though, when the flu shot will be available, but said it will be well in advance of flu season. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is making it clear he has very different views about people from diverse backgrounds from U.S. President Donald Trump. Over the weekend, Trump tweeted that 4 members of Congress, all women of color, 3 of them U.S.-born, should go back to their own countries. Trudeau says people around the world know what he thinks about the idea of people being told to go back where they came from, and calls diversity one of Canada's greatest strengths.
I think Canadians and indeed people around the world know exactly what I think about those particular comments. That is not how we do things in Canada. A Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian, and the diversity of our country is actually one of our greatest strengths and a source of tremendous resilience and pride for Canadians, and we will continue to defend that.
We're removing people that have come in, all of these people over the years that have come in illegally, we are removing them and bringing them back to their country.
Arrests last week of immigrants in the U.S. illegally illustrate how President Donald Trump's pledge to start deporting millions of people is virtually impossible with U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement's current budget and methods.
It does use a lot of our resources to do this. Again, we have people that are assigned to do this every day. But again, if somebody is ordered removed, they're in court and they don't leave, Now we have to use our resources to go find that person to pick them up and remove them. So probably about 4 hours total, 2 officers, about 8 hours, man hours was spent on actually targeting and making these arrests. And actually we were very successful today. Sometimes it could take a lot longer. Sometimes it happens, like today it happened pretty quickly, but other times it could take several hours, or we'd have to go back different days.